Yo, it's Orlando with 94.3 The Shark. In just a couple minutes, we're going to launch a late Projet jam. I'm trying to get Kevin Martin to sing Matchbox 20 on the. I missed it like 3 times. It was really weird, him singing Rob Thomas. He's probably not going to do 3 a.m. for us, but we're going to hear late Projet.
3 a.m. I'm
Perfect. I'm selling that. I'll be the first.
Is that
guy still around?
Rob Thomas?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Aren't they touring right now, Matchbox?
With Matchbox 20 by himself?
With Matchbox.
So we're getting exclusives on 2 bands right now. By the way, normally when people ask me about my job, I tell them it's boring. I go to work with every other job. I sit in a room and talk to myself. But today I'm having breakfast with Kevin Martin and Morgan Rose, which no, does not happen every day. This is like an anomaly. It is absolutely awesome.
Happens every day for us.
Yeah, you guys get to wake up and have breakfast with Kevin Martin and Morgan Rose. But they don't get to have New York bagels, which is on the table right now. Oh, I wish I knew the name of that bakery.
I wish I had a New York cup on a Philly cup. What kind of asshole am I?
Oh, you root for the Eagles today?
Hell no. What?
What? Somehow he's a Yankees fan.
So is he.
Morgan, you too?
Oh, huge.
Yeah, Adam is as well.
There it is.
It's brand new. He got it last week.
Yeah. Just wants to fit in. It's going to wash off in the bathroom.
Right. He's like, what day are this guy's coming?
You guys are coming. I was like, can we get this on and get it on quick?
So, I mean, we know a little bit of the backstory, but tell us a little bit about why you're here at Think Loud Studios.
Well, the guys from Live, of course, Patrick and Chad, being the generous human beings they are, have built this amazing studio for themselves to use. And I was chatting with them about some stuff that I was doing, and I come out to the studio and use it. It's theirs. It's only here. It's invitation only type of studio. And you know, of course, I had the band with the gracious view, which was a lot of fun. And so we found the time with Morgan's schedule with Sevendust not to do anything for the next couple weeks. We were like, let's pop in there and get some shit done. So that's why we're here. And I mean, you know, it's free, so the biggest expense was just getting blown out of here.
Now, with the late Projet, you're not putting out a traditional album, right? You just released a new EP of a couple of songs, and now you're working on more.
Yeah, I think what our game plan is really is people just want music. They don't want to buy records, and if you give them music constantly on a daily or weekly or monthly basis, you're going to listen to it. And for us, the concept is release a song, the first song for a month for free. The second one comes out, you got to buy the first one if you missed it. The second one's free. Third month, the next one comes out, you gotta buy the second one if you missed it. So we're giving you an opportunity, 30 days basically, to not fuck up and miss it. And then eventually we'll just put a full record out if you want to buy a full record. But it's it's really just, here's music. We want to build a foundation and a fan base that eventually we hope we can go out the road and jam with. So it takes some time. It's brand new.
Now, have you guys talked about that? I mean, you're making the music now, but like, if you take this on tour, what the tour would consist of? You're going to be doing old songs, new songs, you're going to keep it to just late Projet covers, any idea?
We haven't really talked about it. I mean, hopefully we have 11 songs from late Projet to go out and tour on. I'm sure we would do covers just because we all like the same kind of music, and that's kind of fun. I don't know what's a big band to do when they go out and they only have 10 songs to play live. Drag them out for whatever, an hour and a half, and I don't know, man. I mean, I think when we get there, we'll cross that bridge.
Morgan, how do you keep track of all the different stuff going on? Like, I'm as ADD as it gets. It seems like you are constantly playing somewhere. If you sit behind the kid now, you accidentally playing a Sevendust song without thinking about it. Like,
It's the
you're a beast.
Thanks, man. No, I mean this is so laid back. This is like easiest gig, it's like we get along great, we're all into the same stuff, we've been in the game for so long, that it's like, it's a new band with a bunch of dinosaurs, in a sense of, we know the business, so, Kevin has the vision of how to put the stuff out there. It's brilliant because, like you said, nobody's buying records, so you try to, cover some costs here and there, but at the same time, let the people get what they want. It's easy. I mean, this has been an unreal experience. When my girlfriend comes down, it's like a hotel and a studio to where, we're used to going in the studio, you stay a late night, you get done, and it's like, like, oh God, you know, I gotta get to the car, in the freezing, into the car, to the hotel, out of the car, in the freezing, into the room, you're all jacked up, you know, you go to bed really late. This place where like, I'm going to bed, you walk 30 yards, you're in bed. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know if I ever want to record anywhere else. But as far as like, you know, saturating myself with music, this is the only like another project. You know, it's all Sevendust, and then there's this. I produce other stuff, writing and some session stuff. But yeah, that it's two totally different animals.
Have you felt, not so much at this point that you've grown, but you're learning a little bit more about drumming, playing a different type of band?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, we have there's a double pedal. There's a double pedal on that on the kit in here, and it's really just for show. You know, I don't use it. You know, so I mean, it's like a training wheel that I refuse to take off. You know, and the pedal sucks. So it's like, you know, I'm sitting there looking at it, going, okay, this pedal sucks. I could just go get that single that's slick and works perfect, but you know, then I'll be like looking down, where's that other pedal, but I don't use it. You know, the Sevendust is a bunch of double stuff, but this stuff is more groove and staying away from overplaying. You know, still trying to.
You're still overplaying.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
Well, what's it like singing in front of a guy like Morgan as he's taking a bite of his bagel? What a great interviewer I am. I mean, your bands have always been hard and always been aggressive, but playing in front of a drummer like Morgan in Sevendust, have you changed your approach to singing a little bit?
Yeah, I have. It's interesting because, you know, I'm the reluctant lead singer, always have been.
So you want to be a drummer?
I started as a drummer. I still think I'm a drummer. Maybe that's why I'm cool. Because I am pretty rad. No, I think what I find working with Morgan that most of my other bands don't allow is the way we write together, the way he puts parts together, it allows for a lot of breathing room. And what that does allows me to approach a song lyrically differently, start points differently, finish points differently, and also allow the melody to breathe by itself without me even singing. So it takes a bit of concentration at the beginning of how do I fit this melody in this part here. More so, my biggest problem is getting lyrics out of these songs, because the melody is, I mean, you've heard the 3 tracks, right? There's so much melody in the song that I really don't have to sing that much. I just can move within it. Lyrics are, you know, the hardest part of my job. And then even on the last record, for the last 3 songs we did, we were all part of it. So, you know, that conversation is, how do we feel about this? How do we say this? But singing, yeah, it's just, it makes it a lot easier than what I do with Candlebox. Because in Candlebox, I do the majority of the melodic writing of the song as well. So I'm thinking about that. I'm trying to fit this. I'm trying to put these lyrics in here, here, here. And so I just kind of knock stuff out. With this, I take my time and I find it. I mean, he's got a great pocket. So being a singer that sings rhythmically, there's a lot of room for me. And I use it a lot more than I do with Candlebox.
The one thing I found when I heard Save Yourself for the first time, the second I heard those lyrics, like, wow, it was getting political. And it was more of a statement to me about what's going on in the economy, in everyday life, than anything else. But these songs seem to have a stronger message than just what I might find with Candlebox I related to, like an ex-girlfriend or this or that. These songs seem to reach out on a more broader spectrum.
Yeah, I think they do. You know, Candlebox is, you know, predominantly love songs. Mm-hmm. Even the harder stuff, they're love songs. Because I started at a very young age writing in that band, and I'm a romantic, so I always find something emotional to attach myself to and fall in love with and all that sort of thing. With this, it's got that aggressive nature to it. It's got that element of it's time to say this sort of thing. And with Save Yourself, that was a song that, you know, interestingly enough, it came together just through I had been reading the morning headlines from CNN or something. It was talking about the decline of and like how everybody has, wants to put their hand in your pocket. They've got their hand out. Everybody wants a hand out. I just really feel like, save yourselves a harsh way of saying it, but you have a responsibility, and as a human being, to be human and to earn a living and to work for the things that you want. No one owes you anything, and that's really what that song's about. And there's so many people now that kind of feel like they're entitled to something. The entitlement element of the United States is out of control. And kids today that just think that they're owed a living and careers in this, in my opinion, is bullshit.
You hear them make requests?
Yeah.
How dare you not play my song?
Yeah.
I'm totally insulted by it.
No, talk about it.
Do you feel, I heard parts of Save Yourself where it's like it's not just the have-nots that you're lashing out at, but the haves as well.
Yeah, because I support Obamacare. I think it's a great thing. I think universal health care is important in the United States. Doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean I'm right, but I think that as a society, at what point is enough money enough?
One day she just woke up and I was the devil. And I was like, wait a minute, you're supposed to, I still give you a kiss on the lips for my daughter. I still, get the embracing hug, and I still get her looking at me and I love you, Daddy, and then all of a sudden it's all gone. I go, do Daddy kiss. She's like, what the fuck happened here? So I missed her entire life. So I've been told that I'll get her back in like 3 or 4 years. So
She's 15. Yeah, I hated my parents till I was 21. And then I woke up in the back of a flatbed truck with my first tattoo, 30 miles from home. I had to call Mom, and she didn't make me feel like an asshole about it. I'm like, you know what, you were right. And that was it. No.
Well, parents are very forgiving.
my mother
A lot more than
hated me
teenagers.
in
Well, they remember what they were doing.
my mother hated me in tattoos, and I got one on my leg. Kanji that said Mom. I don't know why the hell I didn't just put on there Mom. But I like the writing style. So she goes, oh my God, another one? I said, what does it mean? She goes, I don't fucking know. And I'm like, Mom. She goes, oh, why didn't you just spell it out,
That was awesome.
So my mom was extremely forgiving.
I mean, I forgot what I did to my mom. She loved to bring me up to the holidays. All the crazy things I've done, the party where I accidentally run the garage now, like ridiculous things. And I look at it sometimes, and all the times I was mad at her, it's like, why do you still talk to me?
Oh, trust me.
Everything I've done, like, why are you still making me dinner? 36 years old.
Because you'll always be the little boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing special, I'm an only child.
So, yeah.
You have kids?
No.
That's when you start to really relate to it. You're like, okay, I get it. They really can't do anything wrong.
In the short term, they'll fuck you up all the time.
I mean, I was married and I had a stepson, and it did teach me a lot at that time. All of a sudden, I'm getting angry at things and seeing him through my father's eyes. So, man, this is weird. They said this, I always thought this would never happen, but yeah, it did real fast.
Yeah. So, it's just instinct. As a man, too. Protect.
Right. You guys think, because of the way music has gone now, because you have this freedom, like, not that there's less pressure, but do you feel more free to do stuff like have your family, enjoy things, and still get to do things like come here and make music?
I don't know.
Well, it's kind of
Me.
You got to work harder because there's not as much money to be made, but at the same time, when you do like us, there's not as many people in the pie, in the pot trying to take money. So your nut gets lower, workload gets higher. There's nothing more gratifying though than going on the road, making some money, and working for it, and having it go into your account. It's a crazy concept. Work, get paid. It doesn't work for musicians, Nowadays it works a little better because if you're lucky enough to get in the game as long as we have and know all the stuff not to do, you say, I'm not doing that again. No way, no how, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to work to pay somebody else. It's just not going to happen. You know, what did you really do for it? You know, early on, when you're a developmental band and nobody knows you, and you have no real resume, the bank, which is the label, giving you the money and promoting your band and using their contacts and doing all that stuff to give you a career is something that, you know, there's something to be said about it. But, I mean, I sold over 4 million records and I never made $1. Not one penny. At the end of it, we had raised $1 million. I was like, doing the math, I'm like, you made over $30 million off of us and I owe you $1 million. And all I did was go out there and work for years.
Was that in bills? Was that in...
It's just the way you get charged back for the recording process and everything that you do.
Yeah, well, there's interesting
It's totally lopsided.
So many interesting things that happen. Like, you know, when you're talking about auditing a record company, there's no chance. Like, there's no way to win that battle. So a good example is we go into New York and they want to take us out to dinner. We're like, oh, this is great. They bring everybody from the label. You know, they bring the publicity department, the radio department, marketing, you know, the vice president, the president, you know, everybody that works there, the mail guy, you know, distributor, everybody in the office. There's 25 people on their end, 5 band guys, 4 crew guys. We've got, you know, we're getting into the 35 to 40 people at the dinner table. And the champagne is flying,
right, it's not
the
McDonald's.
liquor is flying, the bill is 5 figures, and up there, you know, you might have a, you know, $13,000 bill at this table, and we're making it rain in there. We're thinking this is the best thing ever. And then when your deal is done, and you start looking at your, you know, at a ledger this thick of how much they spent on you, you get into the food and beverage area, and you realize that not only did we buy that dinner, they just took us out and charged us for it, and brought 25 people from their office there, of which I knew 5 of them. And then you start looking and you realize that there's also a $3,000 bill in, you know, Spokane, Washington, that's on our bill because somebody from the office flew to Spokane and took their office out to dinner and talked to them about playing our song. So $3,000, put that on Sevendust. So basically, anything they did, if they sat there and said, you know, so man, I know the Giants, you know, rough year this year, but, you know, I mean, Eli could come through, and they go through this whole hour-long conversation about football, and at the very end, they go, I gotta deal with Sevendust tomorrow.
That's Lou, by the way.
Yeah. I gotta deal with Sevendust tomorrow. Oh, we talked about Sevendust. Mark that down, $2,500, put that on the bill. I mean, we had probably $700,000 or $800,000 in food bills. You know,
Plus they take all that money back before they start to credit the first dollar to the bank.
Absolutely.
Adam, his wife, Adam does accounting for a lot of his label, and still, and his wife works for Universal, or still Universal. And I mean, the shit that you see as a band, like, he's not even lying. I mean, we audited Maverick Records after our first record. We're the first band to sign their label. Sold 4.5 million records. We audit them. They owe us $360,000. And so our accountant and attorney goes, so listen, you know, let's just organize this, make sure we get it all clear up. And they're like, well, here's your check for $60,000, take it or leave it. And essentially you go, what do you mean? You legally owe us $360,000. Well, yeah, but if you want that, you're gonna have to sue us. We just fucking made you $30 million, like you're saying. Just give us $360,000. It's part of our contract. Like this, it's there. It never happens. You know, we got billed back. They were trying to bill us $1.5 million for Happy Pills when the band split up in 2000. So they spent $1.5 million on us. The only reason I knew that they did, my best friend was leaving the company and was the head of finance there and did all the accounting for him and said, listen, we're trying to bill you $1.5 million. You guys only spent $450,000. And he's like, here's the paperwork, and he was walking out the door. And I mean, I had to go to the Maverick. I was like, you can't fucking do that. You can't just say, we spent $1.5 million and we're just going to believe you. So it was a whole, I mean, I got caught up in the whole legal drama with it. You know, it's fucked up. The band split up and I got stuck with the bill.
You were stuck on the label for a while, right?
Yeah, I was there for till 2003 is when I finally got terminated, but I didn't get a royalty from 2000 until 2013 because I had to pay back what they said was an advance for a record purchase. band.
Right.
So it's like a whole fucking drama. This is the shit that they do.
Now, Happy Pills was what, 98?
It came out in 98.
So right around that time, we were approaching Napster. Napster was 99, 2000, and then Oz Howard came out and said it's going to be the end of the music industry, and in a way he was right, but it only seems certain bands were upset about that.
I think most bands were. I know I was. I was concerned about it, only because I knew so well of what I had been going through. This is 2000, and it was all happening. What I was going through with Maverick, I knew it was happening on the financial side of things. I knew how it was going to affect my bottom line, which I actually was able to earn money off of record sales. So, because we were previous what Sevendust was, so back when Candlebox released in 94, 96, 98, you still got that 18 points of the record and all that other bullshit. 2000s and all that stuff, that's when the whole fucking world collapsed in the music business, because they were trying to figure out how do we collect more money, as we know we're going to see decline. I was concerned about it only because I knew that labels weren't prepared. I know that Sony, Warner Brothers, and Universal had a meeting about how do we protect against piracy, how do we watermark our music, how do we make sure that this doesn't get stolen from us. And they all said that'll be fine, it's not going to happen to us. With the film business, they actually said yes, we want to protect this. How do we protect this? The record companies didn't, and so nowadays, like I'm sitting here saying, here's a free song, right? Because no one's buying records. It's 10%.
But remember, I mean, that's how crazy it is. We're giving away music now. And when we started, they had bodyguards at the door of the studio when we would leave to make sure that nobody at work there was pulling any downloading anything or bouncing anything to walk out of the studio. I mean, the hush on a record, I remember when it would leak, and it was like a fucking catastrophe. I mean, like, one song gets out, like, fucking songs on the internet, and then people freaking out, threatening death and lawsuits and everything, Now it's like, hey,
Great, it's insane. I mean, I heard about Projet from the internet, and then it was a station in Pennsylvania that had Save Yourself. And then, we got a copy and played it. And then it was like, it seemed like after that, it was all over the internet. You can get it off of YouTube. But the only thing that concerns me about that is the quality. It's like everything is all glossed and MP3 now, and things are missing. And I see bands are putting things back on vinyl.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but is that really gonna catch?
It's not gonna catch.
It's not gonna catch.
But it is.
Yeah. Vinyl sounds amazing. Talking the gracious views on vinyl, it sounds killer. People are used to listening to shitty music, and they have been for 15 years. It's unfortunate, but then you re-released on CD Baby, which is lossless, so it's full bandwidth, full frequency, and all that stuff. It sounds great.
Do you factor that in though to recording now that you're losing so much sound on MP3?
I think maybe in an unconscious way we do, because like we're not focused on perfect parts right now.
Right.
Like it's fresh. No one's coming in with any preconceived fucking ideas of songs. Hey, I've got 6 songs, guys, let's record it. Which is kind of how Candlebox is. I come and say, I've got these 4 ready, these 3 are in this position, I need you to help me with these 2. That's how I work with Candlebox. With this project, it's like, I woke up one morning, I was like, this is a good bass line, right? More comes like, what the fuck is that? It's something I'm working on. Next 6 hours later, it's a song, And that's how we like to do it. So in that process, you can't really think about, you want it to sound great when you're recording it, but you know that eventually that's going to be an MP3. So it doesn't have to be perfect. There's going to be noise, and that noise is kind of cool. You can hear the rain when it's raining here in the studio when we're playing. We did a song yesterday which was real open with the overheads and the compressors real light, and you can hear the rain in the song. It's fucking rad, Old studios would never do that. They'd be like, no, it's, hey Jimmy, it's an airplane flying overhead. I leave it, that kind of shit. So you really gotta just allow yourself to have mistakes and not worry about it, because people don't really care. Like I said earlier, they just want good music.
So what can Projet fans or fans of you guys expect now when you work on harder songs and mellow songs? Is there even a game plan? You just put stuff together as you go?
That's the beauty of us in there, is that it's weird. It's like we all like the same kind of stuff. I mean, it's the weirdest configuration. me and Kevin especially are crazy on the same page. I mean, we can talk about an individual, and I'm like, yeah, and I'll say this, and we go, yeah. I mean, like, we just agree on everything. And when it comes to music, it's the same thing. I mean, it's not that, I'm a fan of music. I mean, you know, we spent a whole day the other day listening to Lana Del Rey, which a lot of people probably wouldn't think that me or him would be like really into that. It was like, it put me in a great mood. I mean, we spent the whole day going back and forth in the room, cooking food, going on the deck and grilling, listening to Lana Del Rey, going there and play some music. It's like, this is not work. This makes everything real easy. So when we're going there to do a song, the mood is whoever steps in. I mean, for instance, yesterday they're working on a riff. And I'm like, I'm not going to go in there and chef break the kitchen. You know, I'm not going to go in there, well, I've got two guys looking at each other, working on trying to get a riff together. And Adam's in there then, so then all of a sudden Adam's in there, then Lenny's in there, and I'm like, okay, now there's four guys in there, two of them can't hear the other two. So it's a beautiful train wreck. I mean, they don't know how different they're playing right now. Two guys are like, this is pretty cool. The other two, this is pretty cool. And I'm like, put that together, that's a fucking aneurysm, you know? So I'm sitting outside and I'm constantly laughing about it. And I'm like, I'm just gonna wait until they have a pattern working where there's something going on where I can go, okay, I've got something that'll go with that. Now I can morph. I can come in and say, what do you think about this now? And just force a direction. And so yesterday it started as one thing. I went in and said, what about this? It was coming off of their idea. So it's their idea. I just basically went in and said, what about if the groove was like this? All of a sudden in 5 minutes, we're sitting in the control room mouthing and air drumming and air mouth guitaring what we're going to do. And we're sitting there looking around thinking who's going to be the first one to go in there. And I'm always one to go first because I'm the one that can go in there and everybody has to learn how to do it that way.
You know, do ball and glass after that.
Right, and then I can have a cocktail, you know, because I won't drink if I'm playing. So I went in there and knocked a little drum part out. And the song ended up starting to take on this thing. And it ended up being a heavier song, which we have no conscious direction. It's like all this different kind of music, you know, so it's like...
That's the way people are listening to music now anyway. There's no order, like on an album, they're picking what they want to hear anyway. It just seems like it's following the trend of what people are listening to.
Well, we're gonna, I think, naturally go towards the darker side of things, because, you know, we grew up in a world of Metallica and, you know, and Slayer. We're one of the 8 fans who can name 3 Slayer songs. But no, I mean, yeah, I think just for us, we like that.
Rain and Blood, South of Heaven, Hell Awaits.
There it
Name
is.
2 more.
That's all it
But yeah, I mean, you know, it's like, we like that. We like that aggression. We like that heaviness. And so we're gonna, you know, go there. I grew up on punk rock, man. It's not loud scream feedback for me. I like playing the easy listening shit, but I also like to really fucking turn it up, you know?
Punk rock. We'll cut this. It's too much. Green Day, Hall of Fame. Do they belong? They're no on Monday.
Not yet.
I think there's too many other bands. I hate the 25-year-old.
Yeah.
I hate the 25-year-old. The E Street Band didn't get inducted until after Clarence and Danny were dead, which was bullshit. It was technicality. But Sammy Hagar was allowed in Van Halen because their name was around for 25 years, even though Sammy wasn't.
Yeah. No, I think Green Day's a great band. I don't miss them at all. I think they made some amazing records. I thought that American Idiot was a brilliant concept album. And I love the production. I'm a huge fan of what the rock does. You know, it's a matter of, it's just too early, you know. They're young kids. They started at a really young age, yeah, you know. But I don't think it allows them in. You know, maybe I'm wrong.
No, I agree with you. Look, the chronological order of the Hall of Fame is so ass backwards. Your former boss got in there before Rush. Yeah. I'm not even a Rush fan, but to say that Madonna got into the Hall of Fame before Rush did, or even Kiss.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. And I mean, you know, look, it's a popularity contest. It's exactly what the Grammys are. All those music things, American Music Awards, all that stuff. You know, it's not because we never won one or never nominated. I know as a matter of fact, you can spend $25,000 and get on the ballot for the Grammys. You want to do it, you know. If you got enough people that like you probably get nominated with that 25 grand, you know. I don't believe in that sort of stuff, you know. I think music,
now Luke can come in the video.
Music speaks for itself and that sort of thing, but there are certain people that, respectfully speaking right now, deserve a hell of a lot more than Green Day.
I absolutely agree. We played Green Day a lot.
Cinderella. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Cinderella's from here.
Warrant.
You know what?
Is Poison gonna get
Anthrax. Is Anthrax in yet?
No.
Slayer?
No.
Slayer.
Pantera?
Pantera.
1990, so next year.
Pantera's 90? I thought they were 88.
Well, if you count power metal, yeah. If you count the two Fluff albums, Cowboys was 90. But if you're going to count the power metal stuff, then yeah.
That's gonna be when I really, really get the red ass. They gotta go in, you know. And,
Before a lot of other bands.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I'm not even sure if they'll get in. Period.
Well, they're not even really that metal in. Judas Priest isn't in, are they?
No, it took Metallica, what, 35 years? Yeah, the fact that Iron Maiden's not in, how many bands, how many people picked up a guitar because of Iron Maiden?
Yeah. Probably 5 million. Probably 5 million just bands that are out there.
I watched you do the Trooper at the Crazy Donkey, and half those fans that looked like they weren't old enough to know what Run to the Hills was, or the Trooper, were singing every word.
Thank God.
You kind of jacked it up a little, I was dead.
Hey, what? No. My
Those two
telephone
bands are monsters, you know. Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. I mean, that combination was like, that made me want to play.
I saw Halford. I saw Priest at the Barclays Center.
Oh,
it was in March. Guy hasn't lost the
No,
It's unbelievable.
But he's a cat. I remember watching David Letterman and Luciano Pavarotti was on there, and
just cameras there.
No. Hey, over there. But so Dave was just trying to be a jackass and saying, well, what about rock and roll? You know, you like much rock and roll? Who do you like? And Luciano fully threw out. He goes, I like Rob Halford. I think he's great. I was floored as a kid. I was like, fucking Luciano Pavarotti knows who Halford is and likes him. I'm like,
that's awesome.
I'm gonna take that.
So yeah, I think the Priest and Iron Maiden before Green Day.
Is Def Leppard gonna get in?
I think Def
I
Leppard
would
should.
say, yeah, probably, because they're pop rock. See, that whole, that's the element of that museum that's so crazy, is that the Hall of Fame.
But Journey is not.
No, what?
I don't think they should be in.
I mean, but
You don't?
No.
Really?
Because if you ever worked in classic rock radio and had to play Don't Stop Believing every day, 6 times a day,
That
you have
doesn't
to
discount it.
You're right, but I'm biased. Every day, open arms, faithfully, every day.
I mean, that was a fucking hit-making machine. So hardcore.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Time. I mean, they're not in, but you know, you look at the list of some of the people that are. It's like, okay, man, you know, so they were the cream of that era.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the public side. In the public side.
Just say that out loud.
Yeah, I think I stole that from somebody.
We were the tricksters of grunge. I don't know. We were the trickster of grunge. That's who we were. So that's great. Creed, Journey was the creed of.
Did Leonard Skinner get in? They got in, right?
Skinner's in.
Okay.
Your Candlebox used to take a beating by the critics.
We still do. I mean, we still do. Nobody likes us except our fans.
I like them.
And radio people that still love us.
Drove 330 miles to be here. I remember in a book, it was called Grunge is Dead. At the end of it, you have Eddie Vedder commenting how after the initial 4 bands made it, it seemed like everybody just wanted to be a part of the Seattle scene, and he mentions you by name, and he says, take a band like Candlebox, they really weren't from here. You had been living in Seattle since you were 15 years old, and you were from San Diego. Right. Your band was born there, and Eddie's not from Seattle at all.
No, I mean, look, go ahead and say my name, Eddie Vedder, I don't fucking care. But it was a bullshit. There's a lot of those books about Seattle where they take the piss out of Candlebox. And the thing is, you know, for me, you know, knowing Andy and from other Love Bone and Lane, from Alice in Chains, I mean, those guys are still alive. They say, hey, Eddie, you're wrong. You know, I've seen Kevin and his bands doing his fucking thing. You know, so it's like, you know, it's one of those fuck you towns. I mean, that's what Seattle was. And, you know, I moved there in 1984 at the age of 14, and it was right when Metropolis had closed, but Guerrilla Gardens was still open, and all these other fucking great places. And then the teen dance ordinance came in, there weren't any shows allowed, and so you had to be 21 to go see a band play at a bar, or you had to go to a high school or a friend's house party or something, see my club and whatnot, a malfunction, all these great things. That's how that city was. And the problem was, is people like Eddie Vedder and all the other fucking people that weren't from there, that didn't grow up in the fucking scene, would say shit like that. And, you know, we just happened to be, I was 14 and Chris Cornell was fucking 20 when he was playing. Right. Okay, there's a lot of difference between fucking 14 and 20. 6 years makes up for a lot, you know? But a lot of shit happened to me in those fucking 6 years too. I get to be, when I was 20 and Candlebox was going. So, you know, I learned a lot. I respect all those bands. You know, I would love to tour with Alice in Chains. I'd love to tour with Soundgarden. I'd love to tour with fucking that, you know? But Mark Arm happens to be a great friend of mine. He's in the punkest band in fucking Seattle. It still is, you know. Who
detested Projet at the time because they were so mainstream.
Yeah, and Mark, you know, Mark's that guy that's like, he still works at Sub Pop. He still works in the fucking warehouse at Sub Pop. You know, he started that company, you know, with Green River and one of the first bands that they fucking signed. And he's still there. He still fucking supports it. He still believes in it. And he's the punkest guy I know from Seattle, next to, you know, Buzz and all his cats from Melons and whatnot. I mean, there's a whole history there that kind of gets washed over. And Candlebox, unfortunately, we took a lot of shit. You know, Preston liked us because we came out 2 years later.
And possible. Yeah. By the way, before we wrap up this first section, let these guys go to work. There was a story Kevin told me the first time we ever talked about. We want to talk about the Candlebox importance. He almost ended Projet before they started when he almost ran Jeff Amen
over on his bike. Yeah, he's a bike messenger, and I almost hit him in the car. Projet wouldn't happen. But he pulled out right in front of him. It's like, you know, come on, man.
Here he is, just got his license, gonna run over the bass player in Projet.
I just got my license, and I was like, fuck. That's Jeff Amen.
And he recognized you like later on, right?
Yeah, he fucking almost ran me over a couple years later. Some shit.
That's why they didn't like you. I don't think.
Well, I hit the, you know, the rear tire on his bike. He's like, fuck. And he was like, motherfucker. Dude, I'm sorry. I love you, man.
So this is late Projet. We're gonna let these guys work for a little bit. I might be coming back with a little something for 12 Axes of Christmas as well. So we'll end it with 94 through the Shark. We'll see you in a little bit.
It's fucking no Van Halen, no control, no control.
Oh yeah.
So these pauses are gonna be rad. All those great stops. Back. It's that fucking old school Van Halen. Yep. Put your head there, like that's it. 1, 2, 3.
Fastest fucking thing I've ever played on fucking toms in my life. Alright, so before I learn how to do something that we might end up changing, what do we go from there? Well, let's slow it down a hair, because I can't find a groove anywhere. That's what we're gonna play before I learn that.
What if it's just what if it's not toms? What if it's hat and snare?
Well, I was gonna do that on the second half. Yeah.
right here. It's building blocks, brick by brick, dirt by dirt. Outstanding Martin by Gibson.
This is
Guarded at helm, Morgan Rose.
this is pre-tequila, by the way. Pre.
Yes, it is pretty tequila. I
Or I
haven't
think, at
had a
least.
drink yesterday. As a matter of fact.
Something in the bagels.
As a matter of fact. All right, so let's kind of, should we chart it out on something so we can like fucking look at it? I mean, you seem to be the only one who's cognizant of how to piece this together right now, Adam.
Well, I've just got some harmonic movements. Like I said, I'm concerned that like when I'm working on harmonic stuff, like rhythmically, like we're playing it very blocky. I think we need to get interesting with how we move and stuff like that. That's
The God that doesn't work on Sundays guy over here.
the two drummers, paging the two drummers, paging two drummers.
There's two drummers here somewhere. They're in the building. I'm sure there's somewhere around here. Well, let's go out and jam. See what we can do. Morgan, we can probably roll a TV out there for you.
I tracked the Sevendust. I tracked the Sevendust song.
Watching the game. Nice. You had your drum set out, like the stage area, right?
Yep.
How about that? How about? That's just to break down something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's just.
Oh, we need somebody to open the gate? Oh, okay.
That might be real nice, yeah.
I love you too.
Right? They get it?
Yeah, they got it.
Okay.
Oh, there's your G.
Yes. 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 Dude. There's the intro of the song. Now play your riff over that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And that'll be the breakdown as well, which is drums and guitar.
Yeah, we need to work on that.
Yep. Yep. Oh, it's bloody beautiful. There's a song in the making, lads. Let's go. Put the band back together.
That was so good. Any folks got a towel? So all that works with that.
How can you
harmonically.
take that riff and eliminate that 7 to where it goes over the top of that and get rid of the turnaround note that you're doing? Because that lick is killer.
I almost feel like you'd have to do like a progressive thing to bridge it
There, slow it down. Listen. No, see, you're doing an extra note.
And then start. Yeah, then start over. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is that what you mean?
What if the second set of notes was
Yeah. Doing the same thing.
No, the first 2 on the second pass.
Hey, on the foot fresh, do they not have it in Delhi? Can you ask them if they have fresh pancetta? And if they do, I need a pound of that. If they don't,
Okay. Play the first note, the first 3. Yeah, play it again.
How much is
Yeah,
that?
play it. Let me hear it.
How many ounces is that?
Hit it. That one.
Do I need a pound? So I need 60 ounces. So get 4 packages. And then I need bucatini pasta.
Play it again.
It's the big, thick. Yes.
Yeah.
Spaghetti. It's thick.
That's it. Start it here.
So it's like a thick spaghetti.
Play it.
It looks like it's like spaghetti,
Yeah.
but it's just bigger. They don't have that. Just get that. All right.
No, the
2 boxes would be fine.
play the first 3.
And a red pepper flake. And I need a red onion.
No.
Yeah.
You start the second phrase. Yep.
Thanks, Paul.
That's not right.
Somebody new must have showed up. Lou's all
Play it
scared.
again. Maybe it's here. No. Hit this.
Yeah, it's the wrong color right there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Weird though, picking wines.
It's probably not the easiest. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I love that. That.
He keeps banging his head into
That
everything.
That's all right. He's pretty bull-headed. I don't think he's gonna hurt
It's funky now.
Yeah.
Okay, I could.
Is it cool leaving Lou?
So far, seems all right. Then somebody moves the wrong way, and suddenly he's terrified again.
He had an issue with me in the hallway, but then we became friends again. Right, Lou?
He keeps doing that.
Fuck you, Lou. Fuck you.
Oh, you love him.
Fuck you,
Maybe,
Lou.
maybe you like him.
I like him. I like him. In a love sort of way. And then how do you riff through the verse?
Well, that's the thing is you can keep that same, whether it's implied or actually played. You can make those other chords move. That's what I was picking. Those chords will work against that same riff. You know, how we want to move them is what we got to figure out.
I like that. And the bass, could you almost play the bass line on this like very similar to Arrow, huh?
Yeah.
This is my favorite song. And then it needs that open major breakdown like Arrow has and like Appetite
Right.
or Jungle has. It needs that where it just sweetens up.
Right. Well, that's that. It's going to that major.
Yeah. And then where do you go from that?
Well, what do you want to do? You want to go bigger or you want to go darker? I mean, a nice move is, from
I think
that,
you just go back to the verse groove for the solo section.
like for a middle section, like a hang on a turnaround.
Like Arrow has, it has a repeat, has a sweep in, and it's real sweet. It's like that Lick and a Promise. It's that Aerosmith thing. The sweet emotion vibe, that is where it opens up and it's nothing like the rest of the song.
Plenty of footage of what he's saying.
This part. I swear to God, if I don't steal this type of a fucking breakdown ever, and I'm going to fucking say it right now, if I never steal this,
I'm gonna kill myself because this fucking breakdown in the song is so goddamn good.
Isn't it talking about doing food? Like that indicated?
Go back to the other section. Oh, is that not what you wanted? Oh, I thought you wanted the other turn.
What the fuck am I missing?
Oh no, it's this.
The 3 Panthers.
What song is it?
Morgan managed to make my riff just a little harder for myself. He says this shit all the time. I do like that though.
Oh. This.
So you would just go, play the chords for maybe Kevin even singing over it, and then wait a couple of bars. That could be cool.
Yeah, sure. Like that broken down thing you were talking about? Trying to alternate the rhythm?
Yep.
For that vibe.
Yep.
Something along those lines.
Are you thinking like
What do you
power
call
chords?
No. He wanted to hear like a breakdown section, like in that in the Lick and a Promise.
You pull the trigger, the car goes around the track.
But I mean, obviously, we don't want to lift that. But
Slot cars.
vibe-wise, we get. Kind of takes the place of that, at least in the song, as a starting point. Whoa! I am in the
It
fucking
just came out of nowhere.
sweet spot for the sun right here. I feel like I'm in one of those old like movies from like the 20s and 30s where they just do the little box light on the eyes. Jesus Christ! Wow.
Ravens.
Yeah, they got this.
I really like working with you on Sundays.
Actually, we knew this was happening.
Really like working with you on Sundays.
Jeff said that actually. He called. He was like, tomorrow Sunday, Morgan's not working.
He's working.
Absolutely brutal.
There are two people in the world who don't work on Sundays: God and Morgan Rose.
Wrong. Morgan Rose is
Maybe they're the same.
Who would win in a fight, Morgan Rose or God?
Have you ever seen the two of them together? I'm just saying.
I've never seen
Oh.
them together. It's true.
I'm surprised.
Could be.
I'm surprised Kevin did just.
E minor?
What's your tempo on this? Again.
Fuck, who knows?
I am.
Slow it down a little bit. That's pretty quick. All right. So then we're going to just jump to the chorus.
We're playing these over. So here's.
No. What did you say? D.
So I'm saying to keep it just to that, right? Because what I'm saying is he's playing the riff. So check it out. So we've got that riff going, and the reason this works for a good chorus because you're sneaking in the same colors, right? So we can do that. The C and the E minor work over it. I mean? Like they all work underneath that riff, just color-wise. So when you go to the chorus, you get that. It's already colors you've already got in the song. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I'm just trying.
And from there, you can just drop right back into the.
Okay, no, I got it.
It's killing me.
Where did you go after the C? Back to the E?
In the verse,
No, there.
C, and I just repeat it back to the D. The G is what's going to make it real pop. Because if you go to the D,
I don't know how you play. I don't know how you get out of the tempo.
well, we'd have to just map
Phrasing's
it
gonna
to the
have to
groove.
be
Yeah.
different.
We would have to
Phrasing's
map it
gonna-
to the groove. It's just the color changes. You know what I mean? Like I don't think we can do that rhythmic strumming thing.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, is it just because of the tempo of the song? What do you do? Just
Well, would you go to that kind of pattern?
I mean, it doesn't really like. I don't know how.
I mean, I think the one thing that'll make a song that's got some you know, like a lift kind of commercial chorus is if we get out there and we fuck with it rhythmically, kind of like the other stuff we do. If we play it stock straight, then we're kind of killing the interesting stuff that we do with it.
Yeah.
What the chorus Sweet Summertime is C to A to.
C. You go.
It's a C. It's a C sharp. It's a C sharp minor to A, D, E major.
And then it's the.
Yeah. That's the bridge, right? D, A, E.
That F sharp to the B flat to the B is a setup for the solo.
Yeah, because it leads you back to that. That's definitely a hell of a key change. It'd be cool.
Then you go B to the E for the solo bass, basically E minor, B, maybe down to the
Well, so you almost have
A.
Ah,
At
fuck.
that point,
Like
B to E to B to A.
Well, from my headspace, it's almost like you need to clear it back to the riff, change back to that key. That C is going to have to make it work.
Which note is that? The D?
The B, when you get back to the B, when you want to get back to something, I almost think like the C needs to kind of clear your head sonically to the B.
Yeah. Then back to the B.
There's the E minor. Now you can get the E minor in off that C. I mean,
So-
at least to me.
So it's.
Oh, so you want to come right out of just one time through it?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's I'm asking you. That's
Yeah,
your
yeah, that
setup-
works.
This is your setup for the solo.
Uh-huh.
Whittle, 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 whittle to the C here. Because I'm not sure if that's what you want to do, the B to the E.
Right.
For the whittle, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, and then the B.
It definitely gets you back into that other key. It's the transition for
And
sure.
then to the A, maybe?
However you use it.
I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm just throwing shit out there to see if it sticks to the wall. What's the riff in? It's B and what? The roots are B, C, E minor.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're playing B, and then we're using C and the E minor, and then for the chorus lift, we go to D,
Yeah.
E minor, C. So we end up on that one.